Hey, I'm Charbria Shine and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk about girl, get a clue, he is not that into you. So, this is just to help you to be able to determine the signs when a guy is just ain't feeling you. And so nothing is wrong with you, but sometimes I feel like we ignore the warning signs or we ignore the signs because we just want to be with the guy, or we're just like, I'm tired of being single, I'm tired of being lonely, or we just want it so bad, right? And so these are just a few tips to help you get to knowing whether he's into you or not. The first tip is no one knows about you and he never invites you out with his friends or family. So for example, let's say when you start to get to know somebody, after a while, you start to tell your friends about them. Maybe you might try to double date or hang out with their friends, or once it starts to get past some months, you might start telling your sister or brother about them. But let's just say no one knows about you on his end. And you can determine that by he never invites you out with his friends and family. And let's just say you always invite him and he always is too busy or has something else to do when you want to invite him out with your friends or your family. And he always says things like, oh, you know what? We went to a concert last week. I was going to invite you to that, but I thought about it, but nah. Things like that. It's kind of like a red flag. Like, okay, we've been talking or dating or seeing each other for this amount of time. No one knows about me. That's kind of suspicious, right? You need to know about someone in their lives and they need to know about someone in your lives. Okay, so let's move on to the next tip. All right, tip number 2, you don't talk unless you call him. And when you do text him, he texts you sometimes when he wants to. Sometimes it's days later. You might not even hear from him. Okay, again, yes, people have lives. We know people are busy. But when a guy is really into you, especially in the beginning, he's going to be pursuing you, right? It's in their nature to pursue. So if he's never calling you or taking days and days to text you back, girl, I'm sorry to say, he's probably not feeling you like that, or has other girls, or is involved in some other relationships, or trying to see if some other girls are more fit for him. You just have to take the clues and you just have to say, doesn't mean something is wrong with me. Maybe he's not feeling me. That's okay. I might not be a good match, and move on from that. Okay, so let's move on to the next tip. Girl, he never takes you anywhere, even though you are always suggesting, oh, let's go to this restaurant, let's go to this event, let's hang out, let's do that. You suggest all these fun things to do, and he's always like, nah, let's just hang out at my house, let's just chill, let's watch some movies. He never wants to take you in public. That's a red flag. Yo, like, you need to pay attention to that. He never wants anybody to see you with him. That has to be a reason. And so don't ignore that red flag. Something ain't right with that girl. Get that clue. He ain't that into you. All right, last tip. He refuses to talk about the status of your relationship. And every time you try to talk about something serious, he changes the subject. Okay, so this probably ain't day one, right? Where you're like, are we together? No, probably not. You just met him. He don't even know if he's feeling you like that, right? And hopefully you don't know that yet either if you want to have a committed relationship. But after some while, it is very important to know if you're on the same page. I feel like getting clarity is so important because you could be thinking one thing, he's thinking another. He's just trying to hang out, get to know you when you are pursuing a committed relationship. Maybe you want marriage one day, maybe he doesn't. So if you find out that every time you try to bring up your relationship status, especially once your relationship seems to be deepening and maturing, yeah, that's a red flag. That's a clue. And anytime you try to talk about anything serious, he can't even communicate. That is also a red flag, girl. So again, do not feel bad. Your life is not over. If you had to recognize and got the clue that he's not into you, it is okay. Like, there's more fish in the sea, and you might feel like, where? I feel like there's a drought. But trust God. Like, you never have to take your crown off, queen. Like, if you feel like someone's not into you, move on. You deserve better. It's in their DNA to pursue. So if he's not pursuing you, give him some space. And then if he still's not pursuing you, then you know what? Move on. Get the clue. Don't ignore the warning sign. Because if you speed past all of the red signs, you're eventually going to crash. And then once you are heartbroken, you have no one else to blame but yourself because you ignored all of the warning signs. So again, don't be discouraged if he's not that into you. It is okay. Nothing is wrong with you. But just focus on who you are, trust God, and know that the right one will come along, but don't waste your time with counterfeits. So I hope I said something that encouraged you or even enlightened you, because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer with if he's not into you. But honestly, this is just real. Like, you have to pay attention to these signs. And again, so if I said something that encouraged you or you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead, subscribe, share it with a friend, turn on those notifications so you don't miss a thing. And that's it for today. So I will talk to you later, and hopefully you enjoyed today. Bye.